Hello, welcome to this video, another Storytime video. As you know, as you might know from previous Storytime videos which I did, I like to use this format to just talk freely about my thoughts, my experiences, what I experienced in life and what I find important enough to share in a video like this. So I'm gonna keep this chilled and relaxed, like I have a tea prepared, so it's not gonna be hectic or very fast. This video is gonna be a little longer, of course, and today's topic, as you might see already in the description, is about, of course, life. This is why I make this video format, because I don't want to talk purely about League of Legends, since I think the personal side of every member of this League of Legends community is very important too. So today, as I said in the description, you might see it in the title, I'm gonna talk about the knowledge you need in life to do well. So what does that mean? Shepard, like, explain to me, what do you mean now? I mean, especially those people who have a hard time doing well in life. And on the other hand, the people that do well in life and seem to do that easily. I'm gonna start with an example that I can basically say experienced in my own life, and then go on with that to the point where I want to come in this video, like why this topic with the knowledge itself is so important. You know, as always, I prepared a nice replay, so we get some League of Legends in the background. Of course, we all like that a lot. Makes the viewing a lot more comfortable. Even though the topic is not that comfortable, I think it's very, very important to just talk about stuff like this. So let's jump right into the replay. Gonna switch over here. Gonna take him a second. So, let's start off with where I started to recognize that knowledge is just the most important thing ever in life. Let's go back all the way to school. Hey! For example, I went to school in Germany. This is where I live and grew up. I'm German. This is why my English sounds a little bit weird. So, I, for example, went to school as a whole for 13 years of my life. And this is where I want to start this conversation because, I mean, you learn a lot in school, don't get me wrong. You know, there's a lot of subjects, a lot of topics, a lot of different things you might use at some point in life or might have to know. But I can just be really, really rude and clear and at the same time right now when I tell you this. Everything I learned in school, like, except the language, for example German and English, and some basic math maybe. Most of it I did not use ever again. Not a single time. No one has asked me for anything I learned in school other than my languages and some logical things like math. You know, so this was basically the point when I went to start my career. I talked about my career and stuff in my previous Storytime videos, so I'm not gonna talk about that too much in this video. But yeah, when I started working, I was basically like left alone with all that stuff I learned in school. Like stuff about taxes and all that shit. I didn't get a single thing about that topic in school. Nothing. And this is basically like, tax knowledge is one of the basics you have to know if you want to have a good life working. It doesn't matter if you're self-employed, if you're an employee, or if you have a company or whatever it is, you know, or if you are an investor. I like to refer to the quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki. He made that one pretty nice, and the example is pretty well explained, I think. But to come to my point now, where I want to start this off, I had to learn a whole new world. Like seriously, my world got shattered when I left school and tried to get into work at some point, because I didn't have like I didn't finish university. I didn't have any job qualifications at all. Like I talked about this in my previous Storytime video in number 2, and so where it took me was basically, okay, I don't have money, I don't know how to get money, I don't know how to get a job that I like, I don't even know what I like to do as a job, I don't know if I am even able to find a job that I like, because I don't have any qualifications. So basically I was 13 years of my life just led to the point where I was sitting around and starting from scratch again. Like I was starting at zero. And school is meant to prepare you for life. So I was questioning the whole 13 years I spent in school at that point, because I was like, hey, this cannot be everything I learned there. This is nothing. Like I can talk, I can write. Alright, nice. That took me like 7 years to master that. And afterwards, like the other 6 years in school, what did I learn there? Nothing, basically. Nothing important. Nothing anybody would ask for in any future situation of my life. So you have to keep that in mind. If you are in Germany, for example, you may be able to identify yourself there with that a little bit. I don't know how it is in other countries. I don't want to be superficial here or anything. It's just how I experienced it, and I want to share a little bit how I went through this now. So, as the title of the video says, just suck up any knowledge that you can get that helps you do well in life. Where to start? For me, it was a damn hard way to just get started at any point to learn the right things, because I had no idea what to learn. Like where you want to start, you know, you get thrown into the world of business, and everyone is asking for qualifications and for signed papers and all that nice stuff, you know, that makes you valuable to a company or a boss or whatever, you know, makes your interviews sound a little bit interesting, so you might at least get the feeling that you have a chance to get the job. So that's where I started working, and what I did from that point on is like I like to learn. This is something you have to keep in mind. I like to learn. There are not many people who I consider being as progression focused as I am. Like I really like to progress, to develop, to just get further ahead in my life, and to just do everything I can to get what I want. This is how I am. I don't think there are too many people who are like that because of school, basically. Sounds a little bit sad, but I don't feel like the school system anywhere in the world, maybe some do something different, but for example, most school systems in the world just tell you and basically brainwash you to follow the system, you know, follow the path the system wants you to go. No, it's getting a little bit like, yeah, well, you know what I mean. I don't want to get into a conversation about like how the world works, don't get me wrong, it's just part of it, you know, because we are part of the world, so you cannot deny that. You cannot just ignore how the world functions as a whole, and the system that we live in, basically. So, if you want to understand a little bit more about where I started off, it was just the pure, simple, dumb thing about, okay, at least I need money. Before I don't have any money, I'm not able to live, I'm not able to exist at any point. So how do I get money? What really took it off for me was basically figuring out how to do sales. this is all there is to say, basically. Sales was my way into the world of business. Why? Because sales is daily. You sell yourself every day, even though you might not recognize it. Like if you, for example, go to any store and there's maybe a guy standing in front of you who wants to like do the bill or whatever, you know, like you pay for something you want to buy and he's like all mad and you just like put a smile on your face and you tell him, hey man, it's really nice to see you here. How long have you been working here? You get into a conversation. This is the first part of sales, basically. Don't think that too many people do this. Like, I don't see anybody do this, to be honest. Those are very, very few people who really are able to interact with a total stranger who's mad or who doesn't want to talk. And then cheer him up a little bit and you get something back from him. Because he knows you then, he sees you're selling yourself to him, you're making his day a little bit better through just your presence. And maybe he rewards you for that at some point. Maybe he gives you some percentage off, or maybe he gives you some good tips on which like what you can buy there to get a good whatever, you know, good deal, doesn't matter. Or he gets you some good contacts, who gives, for example, this is the best way to describe it. If you go straight towards people and you just make their day a little bit better just by selling yourself as a good person. You don't have to sell yourself, don't get me wrong, like to like say something that's not true. That's not selling yourself. Selling yourself is really just the pure raw thing of introducing your opponent, whatever. No, the man or the woman who's standing in front of you, to introduce him or her to who you are. And for example, if you are in a situation like I was, and you don't have any idea how to start in life or something, and you just start to sell yourself to people, like to introduce people to who you are. People will remember you, will recognize you, and they will potentially think about, how can I give something back to this person, like you, for example. How can someone give something back to you? And this is how I started. I just was in the position where I had nothing, I had no qualifications, I had no idea how to get started, so I just started selling myself to people. Simple as that. And this is the first point of knowledge that I did never learn in school or anywhere else in life. I just had to figure that out myself. And the basics of sales is what took me to a point where I can really say I'm glad to be alive and I'm really in control of my life. And it took me a damn long time and a lot of effort to get there. Like, this was nothing I made possible through some degree or through some easy steps or through some good contacts or whatever. This is just pure raw work that I put in to get the knowledge how to at least get what I want in life. And you only get in life what you want if you know the right people. This is magic formula. Seriously. If you ever want a magic formula, this is the one you have to remember the rest of your life. From now on to the rest of your life, you're gonna die with that in your grave. The magic formula, you have to know the right people. And if you don't know how to get the right people, try to find them by just being open, by introducing anybody to yourself who you can meet, selling yourself to people, so they at least remember you, you know? And just be consistent. This rounds out the magic formula if you want. Like, if you are open and you sell yourself to some people for a short period of time and then you stop, not gonna work. You have to be consistent. Do that all the time, over and over again. Like, I produce videos on this YouTube channel. Nobody knows me here, but I already get some, like a little bit of attention because I keep the pace up. Like, I produce, I stay consistent. Like, I don't stop. You know, never stop. I love this sentence because the sentence that I tell you now really took it off for me in a mental state. If you don't quit, you can't lose. This is something a guy called Grant Cardone said, who also like gave me some knowledge about sales and stuff. If you want to learn something about sales, you can definitely take a lot away from Grant Cardone, just saying. He's a Scientology member, so don't take too far on that personal thing, you know. I don't like that. But he's definitely big in sales. Like, you can take a lot of good stuff away from that man if you know how to remember it and how to use it. So, let's have some tea. By the way, fun fact, this Callista player here, he was so aggressive. He was telling me the whole game to just go in, and he went in too. And I was like, at the beginning, really struggling to at least keep that man alive, or to make his wishes work. In the end, it worked a little bit better, as you can see soon, but holy moly, that was an aggressive ADC, man. You don't see a lot of those in League of Legends. Especially not in lower elo. Like, this is Silver 2 or something. So afterwards, where did I get? I got the basics about sales. Good. I got the basics about how to get a job. Why? Because of sales. If you know how to sell yourself, you will have the easiest time of your life to get a job. And not just to apply for a job, I mean to really take a job. To be in full control from start to finish of taking the job you want. Because you know how the process works then. If you understand sales, you understand so much in life. Seriously. So much. You understand how dating works, you understand how job applying works, you understand how trading works, you'll understand why so much money is in the hands of so few people. You understand so much of the world, just if you get a little bit into sales. I got into sales all in all for 2.5 years now. That's how long I've been in sales. You know how long some people study to at least get their degree? We're talking about 5 to 7 years there. And I'm making the same money that they do at the moment. I cannot talk about my current job yet, because I'm just starting out. I got 6 jobs in the last 3 years. Just get that into your mind. I started out from 0 as a stagehand. I had nothing, no qualification, was very, very underpaid and all that shit, you know. And then worked myself up from every job to the next job, to the next job, to the next job, to just get where I want to be. And the job I have now is where I was imagining myself to be 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, you have to keep in mind, this was a dream for me. This was unreal. Everybody, every damn person in my life was telling me that what I want is either too far away or just not possible. Like, they told me, yeah, you have to put in like 40 years or something to get where you want, and it took me 3. So why did it only take me so few years? That like, not even complete 3 years, like 2.5. Why was I able to get there where I want? Because what the job that I have now, you don't get there easily at all. And I mean, if you compare that, like how hard that is, what I got right now, writing your first ever, like, or put it like that, if you apply for a job for the first time and you get into the first interview, and the effort it takes to get your first job ever in life without any qualification, why not put it that way? That's hard already, I would say. And take that times 100, then you got how hard it is to get where I am at the moment. And the opportunity has to be there too. Like, the job I got now is very, very rare, you know? But I applied for it and I got it. I was in full control of the whole process until I got the job. And now I want to tell you why that happened and why I was able to do that. Because throughout my whole last 3 years, and even before, I was sucking up knowledge. I was trying to suck up everything I could that at least would get me somewhat further in life. Maybe to understand a little bit more about money, about the world, about the system we live in, about school, about why it is so hard to earn more money than the middle class. For example, how to become a millionaire. I learned. You cannot imagine how many hours and days of full studying, privately of course, not at the university or anything, because you don't learn that there. Seriously, you don't learn that in university or school. Because of all that time I put in, I was able to make it there. Sorry. So knowledge is key. Why? You can imagine it like this. If you don't know something like this, something exists, you're not gonna go for it. For example, as a child, I wrote a book about that. Very small book, and just did it for fun. But as a child, you have big dreams. You see something, you like it, and you instantly pop in your head like, I want this. This is what I want. Like a Ferrari, or a big house, or whatever it might be, you know? Or a beautiful woman, or a beautiful girl, you know? Whatever it might be. You just pop that imagination into your head and you think like, this is what I want, and I want only this and nothing else. And this state is something 99% I would say of all people lose when growing older. Because of the society, the reality that is shown to us, that we should believe, which should be real, but reality is only point of view. Like, it's dependent on the point of view and the person who recognizes their own reality. And yeah, basically that's all there is to say. If you go back to when you were really young, like maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, 10 years old, doesn't matter. Maybe 10 is already too late. Just take that kind of mental state you had back then to how to approach your wishes, your dreams, and the things you really want in life. And never ever forget, back then, lowering your target was not even an option. You weren't even close to thinking about that, about lowering your target. You had your target set and it was clear, there and nowhere else. And going back a little bit into that direction helped me a lot, because, for example, where I came from, I was raised traditionally. My parents told me to get a job, get a big house, or a normal house at least, like have a family, have kids, and grow old, and get your pension, and then you're good. Like, there's not a lot of money in that, and not a lot of quality of life, I would say. It's just a way they knew. And this is where I came from. That's how I've been raised. And to get out of that, to think out of that box I was put in very early in my life already. This is the hard part. What comes afterwards is easy, trust me. But getting out of the box, thinking out of the box, and in a good fashion, like in a good manner, and in the right direction, this is fucking hard, man, I can tell you. Like, this took me years and gave me a lot of headaches, to be honest. But that I did that was basically the reason why I am where I am today. And yeah, this is also the reason why I have the goal to become a League of Legends team coach. Like, where I am right now is just another step. It's not my final target. And maybe League of Legends team coach isn't my final target either, I don't know yet, but I want to get there, you know? I just want to get to my full potential as often and as many times as possible. So this is something you can take away from that too, just work in the direction to really reach your full potential. And your potential is just limited by what you think is possible. This is some other stuff that I had to learn on the hard way. So basically, the more you understand about everything that surrounds you, this is how I can sum it up. The more you understand about what's happening around you, it doesn't matter if it's the stuff you know, people want you to see, or if it's the stuff people don't want you to know, people don't show you, people don't believe in, doesn't matter. Just everything that happens around you, the more you know about it, the better you're gonna do in life. Trust me. I'm going through this by myself. I'm already pretty far for the target that I set for myself. Like, I didn't expect myself to be where I am right now in that short period of time. But it's all due to the fact that I just really want to understand everything that's happening around me. And I mean in a far circle, not just next to me. I mean everything that's impacting my life. And maybe also the life of the people that I love. I'm a father, for example. I have a son, 1.5 years old now. And I have to take care of him, you know, and I have to ensure that he's gonna be able to build up a good life. And this is not something you just do by buying him food, raising him, and telling him nice bedtime stories. You know, you have to work for that. You really have to put a lot of hours and work in to understand where your son is gonna end up at some point. As I, for example, did when just gonna click out here. Yeah. Because when I came to finally start my career and start to work, I had no idea where to start. And this is where I have to prepare my son better so he knows where to start, you know? This is nothing school does for you, nothing university does for you, or your child, whoever you want. So, to sum it up now, because this video is long enough, I think now, maybe some quick thoughts at the end, some stuff that goes on in my mind, because I tend to think a lot and talk a lot, as you see. I hope you can follow me up until that point. If yes, please post some comments below that it was not total garbage which I was talking about. Would really appreciate to hear some of your thoughts in the comments, of course, too. Yeah. For example, the corona pandemic. It's very up to date to talk about that, of course, because this is what's happening right now. I really wanted to understand what corona was, where it came from, how much it will impact the world, because it is a world pandemic. I'm not gonna question anything in this video about the coronavirus itself, okay? This is your own decision, how you want to view corona and how much you want to believe about corona and what's said in the media. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about how I learned about corona. Like, just research. Research whatever you can about the topic you want to understand. And if you don't see the point in why you would try to understand everything around you, just view it this way. People, and especially human beings, always throughout the whole existing of our species were afraid of the stuff that we didn't understand. Now it should click. You know? This is the reason why some people do very well in life and some don't. Because if you are afraid to get to know more and to understand the world better, you won't even make it anywhere. Because then you got two things you are very much afraid of. First, the stuff you don't understand, and second, to even try to understand that stuff. Because you are afraid of maybe some stuff that might appear that you don't want to believe. You know? Concerning corona, there's a lot. For example, many people on the world really don't want to believe. But, as I said, different topic. I think this is a pretty nice point to round it out. Sadly, I am not able to stream on Twitch because my internet connection here in this apartment is horrible. I already quit the contract, but it takes another year until I'm out, so my only option is to do YouTube videos to get in contact with you guys. And I would really love to get to know more people out there from the League of Legends community, so I just can put more and more emphasis on that. Please write in the comments. I want to talk with you. I want to maybe discuss about some of that stuff with you. If I can help you at any point, if you have any question about the stuff I talk in this video, please feel free to ask. I'm definitely gonna take the time to answer the comments in any case, because when I started I had no one who was really helping me out. No one. I couldn't ask anybody, because everyone around me was just saying, dude, you're fucked. You don't have any chance in life. You didn't make university, you didn't get any degree or anything that's gonna take you anywhere in life. And it was left on my own. I wished so hard, I was wishing so hard for some help back then, like 4 or 5 years ago, for some mentor, someone who could help me out. You know, I didn't find anybody. No one was there, because I didn't have any contacts. I didn't know the right people, you know? And maybe I am the right guy you want to know in this case, so down in the comments, any question you got, throw it at me. I promise I'm gonna take the time to answer it correctly and to give you the information you might want. Well, thank you for watching, of course. I really love this video format. I'm definitely gonna keep that up weekly, of course, maybe a little bit more than just once a week, but definitely once a week, because as I said, I like to think a lot, I like to talk a lot, and I love the League of Legends community. I want to get in contact with you guys more, even though the videos are not viewed a lot or anything, like there are not many viewers on my channel, of course, because I'm just starting out yet, I know that, but maybe in the future, who knows, this is gonna become a thing. And for that, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it to you guys. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you want to support me, and if I can support you in any other way, if I can give anything back here, ask for it. Seriously. You can follow me on my Twitter, on my Reddit account, and all of that is in the description. You can also, if you have any business requests for me working with you, in any case, for League of Legends or anything else, whatever you want, you can email me. Email in the description too. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your time. I hope you have a great day or a great evening whenever you're watching, and see you in the next video. Love and respect for you guys. Thanks. Bye bye.